So I was actually in my car. I was about to drive out from this workshop, and something I was discussing with the mechanic I work with some minutes ago. So I was like, okay, maybe I should actually talk about it because share it with other people, which I've done many times on this YouTube channel, you know. But it was even the mechanic that brought it up, the subject. So I was like, okay, like who ought to say something about it again. So this is the one I came to workshop with. Came to workshop to today. Alright, um, so now what he said was that he has observed, even though yeah he is a Peugeot mechanic, so that he has observed that most time when people call him to tell him to go and come and inspect cars for them or advise them whether to buy a car, stuff like that, or search for a car for them, whatever. That he observed that most times they always ask him this question: oh, how is the engine? Is the engine good? That's usually the first question they ask him, and most times they focus on that. Now he's surprised that up till now the Nigerians still ask these questions, or focus on this thing called engine, especially for Peugeot users. That he is surprised, honestly. you know I was like, you see, somebody has been watching my video. Well, yeah, that's the truth. But the point is this: he gets it. I mean, that's not how you work with me when it comes to automobile, and you not understand. At least you won't. I don't want to say being influenced. Yeah, sure, I do influence people around me when it comes to cars, especially on Peugeot. But he will be able to learn or understand why I have my positions and experience the same thing as well when it comes to Peugeot vehicles, modern ones. So he has come to that realization that actually when it comes to modern Peugeot cars, your worry shouldn't be the engine. You should stop focusing on the engine. That was what he was trying to tell me, that he was surprised because he called, there was somebody that came to the workshop, and with the discussion came up that I think he said one of his neighbor was looking to buy a car, and he now suggested there's one for the person, and of course the first question was, how is the engine? Is this sound? She was like, come on, modern vehicle, a Peugeot car for that matter, you are still thinking about engine. Engine should be less your worry. He was just saying it as if as if he was talking to somebody else that didn't know anything about Peugeot. Then he was just telling me, I was like, hey, you are preaching to the choir. In fact, you are preaching to the choir master. So the preaching should go elsewhere, not to me. But I kind of, the discussion took, we are like, okay, I mean, I wish people could get that. It was like, even though he himself, he has some understanding, but when it comes to electric car, he'll be like, no, you may have to find somebody else to educate you on that. But he still don't understand why people just keep saying engine, and people end up buying mess, nightmares, if I'll put it correctly, because they are focusing so much on the engine. So he was also saying he could understand if the person is probably talking about Japanese vehicle, because for what he said, I mean, the engines are quite expensive compared to Peugeot engine. It doesn't matter which brand. I mean, the most expensive engine you could get in a Peugeot, if you compare it to the Japanese brand, let's assume if it's 2015 model engine, let's assume the vehicle was produced in 2015, so you could say the engine is also 2015. Just leave it at that. If you compare Peugeot 2015 Peugeot engine, let's assume it's 4-cylinder. You compare it to 4-cylinder of the same counterpart of same of Japanese, man, you'll be surprised that the price difference might be close to ₦1 million or 500,000. I mean, that's huge. If Peugeot engine is 1.5, theirs could be 2 million, 2 point something. No, the difference is usually that huge. So he said in that case, yeah, it might make sense if somebody is saying engine for when it comes to Peugeots and say, hey, his concern is there, so that he won't have to spend another huge amount of money after purchasing car to start dealing with the engine. So he said, yeah, he could understand that if it's just, but Peugeot, he said it's not necessary because it's cheap, but because your wallet shouldn't be the engine, because the engine will, even though your engine is dead, even if it's expensive, trust me, you are better off if the electric car is a mess. He said, like I said, you work together when it comes to cars. So he has seen it all, or at least to some extent. Cars people bring, even he himself cannot figure out how the car probably could even move to the workshop with that kind of mess, and I will come and give my estimate, do the repairs. He will see how much or whatever it took, time, mental stress it takes to be able to figure out some of this mess or nightmares created on these cars before the car now becomes actually drivable. You'll be like, I mean, if you can avoid it, why not? So he was just saying that, he was surprised that by now Nigerians are still doing this thing with that engine, because see, most people, ignorant ones actually, some non-ignorant ones, they realize that, hey, all you need to sell your car most quickly is to deal with the engine, replace the engine, put a new one if possible. Talking about brand new one. Yeah, people will rush quickly. Yeah, the engine is sound, because that's what sells for the Japanese guys, and probably other European brands, American brands, who knows. So, but for Peugeot, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. As far as Nigeria is concerned, you have to deal with the electric cars. Tokumbo for the Nigerian use, it doesn't matter. Foreign use doesn't matter. Electric car. Not quite long ago, I shared a video of Peugeot 505 1983 production. A car that was produced in 1983 or sold in 1983 or whatever. Within that year, I know it was below 1985. So it was between 1979 to 1985, something like that. But within, somebody messed up the wire, the body, the car wiring harness, and the car became undrivable. From one workshop to another, nobody could be able to fix it. This is an old vehicle. How many years ago? Imagine this current one that everything is being controlled by computers, not one, not two, not three computers. I mean, various models, sizes, whatever, computers scattered all over the vehicle. That should be your wall. Yeah, so I could understand. I think what prompted it was, one of the recent cars that has some of these electrical issues. At least now we'll be able to sort it out, so make it reasonable to actually drive and have some enjoyment driving a car. Not necessarily just anything that can move you from one location to another. Something you can actually enjoy with some peace of mind. Doesn't mean the repairs have been completed on the vehicle. It doesn't mean it still will not consume in future, or there are other issues that won't be sorted out. Yeah, of course, aside the ones that are still left, there will still be wear and tear that will still happen in future. That might still be good today, but my point is, at least let it be a condition whereby one after the other. Maybe this one fails today, fine, deal with it. Another time it fails, probably months later, you deal with it. Stuff like that. Rather than you put ECU today, tomorrow you bounce it. You buy another one, try to find what could have burnt this engine ECU, this BSI, this one. There's one connection down somewhere that is messing it up. You go and correct that one, not knowing that they've actually bypassed something else somewhere. So that normal connection you did will even go and damage something. If you don't go and trace another connection, bypass this one, I mean, it can be a mess. Sometimes you'll be like, can as well just strip the entire car, remove everything from the entire car, see the entire wire from the tail light to the front headlight, so you can see Why did they do this cut and join that is burning all these things here and there? Buying a used wire, sometimes you'll be okay, you can as well buy a used wire. Most times, because of some of the wires you will buy, wiring harnesses you will buy, will be the one from scrapped cars in Nigeria. Majority of cars that are scrapped in Nigeria, of course, you should know that these are cars that, like, you will say you don't die. That these cars are dead, as in to the point that nobody could be able to maintain or fix them anymore. So they are scrapped. Some accidented, so they are actually in good condition, but had the accident beyond repairable, so they scrapped. So some wires will still be intact. But that's why I say getting the ones, there's always high probability that you won't be able to get the one that has also not been tampered when you are looking for a used wiring harness. So you buy again and then try to see if you can sort out the bypasses or the deed on it before you mount it. At least probably it will be less than the one that is currently on the car in terms of the abuse done. So I just wanted to let people know, come on, used vehicles, modern Peugeot cars, be very careful. So this is not the first time I'm saying this. It shouldn't be the first time you're hearing this, but hey, you know, it could be the first time you're waking up for the day, or for the first time. I don't know. In Igbo we said, so maybe this is your first time of actually going to Google to search for anything car related, and now you are watching this video and you're like, hey, I'm just coming to the realization that this is actually what could happen when you go out to buy a car. You could say, oh yeah, I'm trying to promote my business. Sure, yeah, why not? What were they making money, so I'm also making money as well, and also promoting my means of making money. But at the end of the day, I mean, what I'm saying, is it real? Is it a fact? You guys can see some videos I do publish. You see that it's not making things up. You see it real, it's happening. So I can only do my best and with it. Man, this car was on the road yesterday with the car, man. Kind of had some fun with it. One thing I'm missing on this car is actually the fact that it's not running on the variable suspension right now, the shock absorbers. That's the painful part, honestly. I don't know, I just think of giving it another attempt now. I don't want to waste that money. Remember, I've done 2 attempts. 2 attempts. I still didn't work. You know, right now, luckily for me, the front shock absorbers, the variable ones, they are still okay. But the rear ones, it was hard to get. Eventually, when I found the 2, mounted it, the next day, oil everywhere, they failed. So I gave up. I honestly gave up. So I genuinely want to have that variable suspension back on this car. So the only alternative I might not have is to get a saloon one, because the coupe one is very hard to get. Coupe variable VC suspension is very hard to get. So unless I will go for saloon one, because right now it's actually saloon shock absorber that is there with the spring. So can as well. I prefer the coupe one will be in the car much lower. But maybe what I could do is to sacrifice bringing the car lower, so that it will give me that much more sporty look. Because right now it's a little bit higher, so I don't really enjoy it. Anyway, that sporty look is still there, but you know, I just want it to stay down, but then I'll also suffer in terms of bad roads. It means there are some roads I won't be able to drive this car. Right now, I can, almost all the roads now I can easily, not easily, but at least without crashing the vehicle. But if I go that performance own is going to come down much lower, and then I will have an issue. So what I think I will do is to buy, I'll leave it in next year. We are now 1st December 2024, so leave it till 2025 to be like another project. I'll look for the saloon. That's what I'll do. Give it another attempt, you know. Look for the saloon, rare one. Luckily, the current one on this car is the spring. Is it the saloon spring? Saloon VC spring? I think so. Yeah, yes. So what we have here is the saloon spring. This saloon variable suspension VC spring. So it means it will still maintain this height. Unlike the coupe on, I have the coupe spring. If I put it here, it will come down lower. So all I now need is the rear the rear saloon suspension. No, shock absorber, variable shock absorber. So then my front variable shock absorber, you still have the coupe spring. So what I could now do is I'll swap in this current spring on this car to drive front variable shock absorber. I use it. I mean, it's best offer. Oh, not the best, better than this one. Is okay. This one just that there are some moves that if I want to make, I remember it's not variable, because that variable turns the car to stone, as in it stay like woof, just stay rigid. This one I see twice, you know, because it's not just this the spring that also makes the car to have that performance road handling. Other things, yes, to contribute, you know, but I want the full package. So I'm going to leave it till next year and then do that project again, you know, see whether I can put it back on variable distance. It's fun, man. It's fun. Only that when it comes to replacement, that's when it becomes a problem. Getting a good one. But I think it would be easier for me to go back to saloon, to start using the saloon variable shock absorber than trying to get the coupe on. That is very hard. How many coupes do you have? Especially the V6 one, for you to get one that is still good. Since you can't even get new ones, so it has to be used. So, well, I'm showing you, sharing the story of my life, but I'm also encouraging you guys to, you know, look out for some of these special Peugeot cars. That's how you enjoy Peugeot, you know. Like I said, I pay attention to details, so it helps me to select among all the cars available which one make more sense for me, not for you. For me, if you come for me to give you best advice for you, then we'll work with that based on whatever thing I get from you that you want in a car. I'll work with it and get, you know, refer you back to, or I'll be like a mirror showing you exactly this is what you are asking for, so this is one that will serve you better. But for me, I know, so I make my own choices on Peugeot cars. I don't like all Peugeot vehicles, in as much as I'm a Peugeot freak, but it doesn't mean I like all cars Peugeot produce, or will ever consider owning all of them, even if I have the resources to own all Peugeot vehicles ever produced from beginning, from their inception till today. I wouldn't, because of some of them do not at all. I have no interest, you know. So, but the ones that are out there that match who I am, this is one of them. So you can see that shining stick. Yesterday, man, that thing did a lot of things there. Well, I'm the only one that knew what happened. I think somebody else was in the car actually. Anyway, guys, so till next time, take my advice. Find somebody that will help you out. Buy something that will not put you in your early grave. Okay, till next time.